So good morning, YouTubers. We're here on the 2013 Lincoln Navigator, and my plan for today is to change the brake pads. Now, I haven't taken these tires off and inspected them all, so I have no idea of whether it's just the brake pads or rotors or what it is that I'm going to be need to do today. So I'm not a mechanic. I have done brake pads on Lincoln Navigators before, just not this one. I can't imagine it's going to be too different. So I'm going to walk through the way I've always done it. There's going to be some vehicles such as Ford Expeditions and certain Ford pickups that are going to be very similar to this. So some things I've seen some people do on YouTube videos and other people don't do it, but I'll just tell you the things that I do and show you what works for me. So I like to start off inside the vehicle, and I have my little message center up there. I come down to the setup button and I press the setup button. I scroll through, and I go to the air suspension and I hit that to off. So I turn off my air suspension system as I'm jacking up the car. I don't want that kind of messing anything up. I don't know if you have to do it or not. I've just always done it that way. Next thing I'm going to do from inside here is I'm going to be starting on the passenger side. So I'm going to cut my wheel to the left to give myself a little bit extra room to work on the caliper. Then I'm going to pop my hood. I'm going to turn off the vehicle, and I'm going to go to the master cylinder. I'm just going to take the lid off. And again, I don't know if you have to do this. I've just always done it when I'm working on brakes. And I think when you collapse the caliper, it just keeps it from going under pressure, maybe makes it a little bit easier. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that hub cap plate there to expose the lug nuts. And what I'm going to be looking for to see if I need any special key to take the lug nuts off. And it looks like all those are just standard lug nuts. And what I'm expecting to use for tools today is the lug wrench, a C-clamp, socket, ratchet set, and a large screwdriver. So I'm going to loosen the lugs on that a little bit, just to crack. I'm not going to take them off, and then I'm going to jack up the car with my floor jack. Now it looks like there's still plenty of meat left on these. I haven't had any squealer tabs or anything going off, but this is one of those things where I've got maybe 65,000 miles on this and I haven't switched out the brake pads yet. And I figured I might as well take care of them now. Normally you'd want to replace rotors or have them machined, but again, I didn't wait until these needed to be done. So I'm going to get away today just replacing the brake pads. So I've got a 13 millimeter, I don't know why I have such a hard time with that, but 13 millimeter bolt up the top here, 13 millimeter down the bottom. Loosen those both up. And once those are out, this just lifts out of the way. Just rest it on top there. Make sure it's pretty sturdy. You don't want that to fall and have that brake line. Good time to inspect your brake lines as well. They look good here. Now I should just be able to take a screwdriver, put it in between, and just pry these things out. These little spaces right up here, they just come out in those. Same thing with the outside. Just kind of pry it out a little bit to remove them. Kind of see it's spacing there. You don't want to gouge the rotors, so you just pop those out and put the new ones in. You're going to take one of the old pads, put it on the caliper, take your C-clamp, it's down all the way, loosen the C-clamp, remove your brake pad, and put it back together. I'm just going to put those 2 bolts back in, and we'll go to the other side. So I put those 2 bolts back on the caliper, and then I put the tire back on, hand tightened or kind of snugged all of the lugs onto the bolts, and then I lowered the tire, and then I really cranked on them. I mean, you've got to crank those lugs down or whatever. You don't want the wheel falling off. Now I'm just going to move the other side. I'm not going to bother recording because it's going to be exactly like this side. The only thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back in the car. I'm going to turn the wheels the opposite way, and then when I'm done, I'll put the master cylinder cap back on, and then turn my air suspension system back on, start up the car, pump up the brakes, get the cylinders or the calipers that I compressed to kind of come back and be touching the brake pads. Difficulty, honestly, if you can change a tire, you can change a brake pad.